Wow, welcome to the second trimester. Today is October 13th. I am 14 weeks and 5 days, so I'm almost at 15 weeks. I just considered the beginning of the 14th week as second trimester. Today is our gender reveal, which is so crazy. I'm like been emotional all day. I'm so excited to find out what the baby is. I don't have any big like intuitions about it. I always thought it was going to be a girl because I've only dreamt about girls even before I was pregnant. I've had a few dreams where I woke up and I was like, the feelings of my dream, I just knew it was my little girl, if that makes sense. But when we went and had one of our ultrasounds and we saw the baby like dancing around a few weeks ago, I just like was looking at it and I just thought boy, and I can't explain it. So I really do think it's a boy. I mean, obviously I'm going to be excited about whatever. I don't really have a gender preference. I have always wanted to be a girl mom. Hopefully this won't be like our only kid. God willing, we want more. But I will be excited with anything. Obviously we just want it healthy and happy. I want it to live the happiest life and I want to help give the happiest life to the baby. Most of the people that are at our gender reveal party think it's a boy. So it'll be really interesting. I'm really excited. I also don't think I'm going to do this for any more kids. Like, I think this is just a first-time kid only kind of thing because it has been a little anxiety inducing, and I would honestly just rather find out, me and my husband. I feel like it's such an intimate thing to find out, and as fun as it is, like, I'm kind of thinking of this as like my gift to the whole family because our first kid, like, we all get to find out together. But any other kid after this, I am not going to do a big gender reveal. It's just stressful. Bump right now. So this is mainly like my stomach, but this is definitely baby, like right here. So I'm very, very excited. I'm going to be doing a separate video all about the gender reveal, but this is the beginning of my second trimester vlog. If you missed my first trimester vlog, I will have it linked in the description box below. It was a rough one, but I've been feeling really good this week, so hopefully the second trimester is going to be great for me. Speaking of, I am on Zofran right now. I will be taking another one in just a few hours. I am still sick. Like very sick, so hoping that goes away soon. I am 15 and a half weeks today, and I'm currently sitting here cutting up Unison tablets. I'm supposed to take a half of these tablets every night before bed. I just got prescribed this today. So today I actually met with a midwife. I am switching from my OBGYN to a midwife, a certified nurse midwife who is within the same practice as my OBGYN. The reason I switched is because the hospital that this new branch uses is about 30 minutes closer than the one that my OBGYN delivers at. I cannot believe that my next appointment is the anatomy scan, which is wild. We did have the gender reveal this past Sunday, October 13th, and today is Thursday, October 17th, but we are having a boy, which I am actually not shocked about. I think I did a little debrief in my gender reveal video like beforehand, that when I was looking at the last ultrasound that we had done, we saw baby in there dancing around, and when I was looking at it, my mind was quiet, but I just felt boy. It was just the weirdest thing. But I've only dreamt of like girls, and in my dreams, I've had multiple dreams since before I was even pregnant of a daughter, and like in my dream I knew it was my daughter, if that makes sense. So who knows what's to come in my life. I may never have a daughter, I don't know, but I'm very excited for this little boy. But I am a little like, what do I do with a boy? There really wasn't gender disappointment, and if you feel that way, that's totally normal. I will say at first I was kind of like, oh man, I kind of wanted it to be a girl. Like, I didn't know I was hyped up for a girl until I saw the blue come out. But I mean, that feeling lasted for like maybe 10 minutes. And then I was just like really excited. So, but a lot of people have texted me to say they have felt gender disappointment. I feel so lucky with my friends and my support group that either are pregnant or have been pregnant before. And gender disappointment is very common. So if you feel that way, don't feel guilty about it. It's totally normal. But we are just so thankful to have, hopefully, a happy, healthy baby. I don't really care what it is. I really don't. And I really thought that I would care. I've always wanted a little girl, but I really don't care. And I'm really excited to have a boy. So anyways, when I went to the midwife appointment today, I did tell her I'm still having aversions to everything. I'm not having nausea as much, and I haven't thrown up in close to probably about exactly a week to the day. I haven't thrown up, which is really good considering how the past trimester went. So like the nausea is going away a little bit, and I still have some, but the food aversions and the constant need to gag, especially while I'm eating, is what's killing me. And she says she's not really concerned that I've lost 18 pounds, but she's like, as long as you're keeping food down and you're not throwing everything up, we're not really worried about it. So I'm just gonna focus on what I can eat, when I can eat, and I'm really hoping that this B6 and Unisom combo works. I've heard a lot about it, but I've only been prescribed Zofran, which I try not to take all the time. So a lot of people swear by this combo. Although I'm also kind of nervous because I've never taken like a sleeping aid or anything. Like, I'm just not big on medicine. But I'm gonna give this a try because I really need to eat and I need something to help with these aversions. So I'm feeling really good. I am not as depressed. I talked about this in my first trimester video about like experiencing depression, and I did let my midwife know today that I do have a history of anxiety and depression, and that depression runs in my family, and I just want to be very open and honest about it. And when I start feeling depressed, like I want people to know. So she wrote it down, and she said there was some kind of pill or prescription that you can take. I can't remember what it was called. It was really weird pronunciation, but it's like a 14-day prescription that helps prevent postpartum depression. So she put that in my file that if I feel like I need it, she'll know exactly what to give me. Oh, I have felt baby the past 2 nights. So the evening, the night that I turned 15 weeks, this past Tuesday, the 15th, I felt the baby, and I was laying in bed on my left side, and it started to feel like they say it feels like flutters or gas. It didn't really feel like gas, but it did kind of feel like my intestines were kind of moving, but it was like a consistent feeling for at least 15-30 seconds. And I knew, like, it was just a different feeling that I hadn't felt before. It was like someone was like tapping on the inside of my stomach like this. It was the coolest feeling. And then the next night, Mac put his hand on my belly, and I felt it like the strongest I felt it yet. I was like, oh my God, it's moving in there. Max said he couldn't really feel anything. Obviously, it's still so tiny, but I could feel the flutters, and they went on for a little bit. And then yesterday during the day, I felt it like a few times. Like when I was driving, I'd feel it. But I haven't really felt it that much since. So every night when I go to bed, I get really excited to lay there and see if I can feel it. But yeah. Today is Sunday, October 20th. I am 15 weeks and 5 days, so almost 16 weeks. And I'm about to do a Pilates class. So far over the past 3 days, I have done a pregnancy Pilates / yoga class every single day, and it has made me feel so much better. Nausea is starting to subside. I haven't thrown up in a week and 3 days, which has been so great. I stopped taking Unisom. I took it that one night, woke up the next morning, and I had insane ringing in my ears and distorted sounds for the first like 2 or 3 hours of being awake, and that just scared me. So I was planning on taking it again if my nausea comes back, but I've just been taking the B6. And although I've still had some nausea, it only really comes on when I haven't eaten for like 2 hours. So I'm just trying to make sure that I am eating lots of snacks, trying to focus on protein, which is really hard because I pretty much hate every meat except Chick-fil-A chicken. And that has been helping a good amount, I guess. But I think things are starting to look up. For example, I'm starting to kind of feel like a slight gag reflex right now because I'm hungry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just do like a quick 20-minute Pilates workout. And then I have my lunch already made in the fridge. I've been meal prepping. Like right now I'm doing like a chickpea, cucumber, red bell pepper, and grape tomato, like Mediterranean salad kind of thing. And that has been feeling really good to eat. I've been really craving beans. I'm fine with that because at least I can get some kind of protein in. I'm just hoping I continue to feel this good because I would love for my aversions to keep fading, and I would love to eat healthy again. I've gotten to a place where like all first trimester I could only eat super processed unhealthy foods like potato chips and goldfish and candy and all of that, and I'm slowly getting to a place where I can eat things like a chickpea veggie salad and feel really good and sound really good to me. And I just want to keep that going because now I'm at a place where anything processed gives me a gag reflex automatically. It's like now I'm having an aversion to processed foods. Everything except Chick-fil-A. I'm just like, ugh. I can't talk about it right now because I need to eat. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my workout and eat. I just want to film a little bit of my workout for you guys so you can see like what kind of things I'm doing, and that's it. I am 16 weeks and 1 day today. It's October 23rd, and I am making one of my latest cravings. So I wanted to share what that is. I'm making French toast, but like a healthier version. So I'm using the Dave's White Done Right, Dave's Killer Bread. And it's not necessarily stale bread, but I get 2 pieces of this, and I have mixed up in my bowl 1 whole egg, a splash of milk, a splash of vanilla, and some cinnamon. And I just put butter in a pan and get the pan hot, and I'm just going to dip my bread in the mixture just like you would French toast. Kind of let it soak up a little bit, and then I cook it. And the reason why I've been loving this is because I do not have a sweet tooth, but this pregnancy I have had a sweet tooth, and usually my breakfast is like eggs, maybe like turkey bacon and some veggies, and that's like so good to me, but I just haven't felt like eggs. It's one of my aversions, unfortunately. So I figured if I make this French toast, I am getting an egg, because between 2 slices of French toast, it soaks up all of this mixture, and that's 1 whole egg. So in my mind, this is really helping me get the choline from the eggs. The only sugar that is in this comes from the maple syrup, which I do use a pretty good amount of, but it's still better than like breakfast cereals and other alternatives. While the French toast is cooking, I put some frozen organic blueberries in the microwave. So I have warmed blueberries and then a little bit of warmed maple syrup. This has just been the best thing. Also, sad news, I have gone almost 2 weeks, 1 week and 6 days without throwing up, except this morning. And that is because when I was brushing my teeth this morning, my gag reflex came back really bad, and I gagged, and then it's like once I gag, my stomach just is like clenching, and I start salivating, and I just like can't help it. So I did throw up this morning, so I had to reset the clock on that, but it wasn't necessarily because I was nauseous. It was 100% the gag reflex. And I did have a cup of coffee today. I do not drink caffeine anymore. I honestly don't like it. I don't want it anymore. And I'm very caffeine sensitive. So I had 1 small cup, like probably 8 fluid ounces of coffee, and I am wired. It's like as soon as I drink it, I can kind of feel my heart rate increase. So that's why I try to stay away from caffeine. Everything I do is like half calf, even my coffee. But this morning was the first time I had like 8 ounces of real coffee. So I don't need to do that anymore. It's just so wild. My aversions are still here, but not as bad. They are easing up. And I have been working out every day doing something. Yesterday, I cleaned the whole downstairs. So that was my workout, because that was a lot. It took me hours to detail the whole downstairs. And I could feel in my joints and my muscles that I needed to stretch and like work them. So I'm really trying to make sure that I move my body with Pilates or yoga or stretching every single day. And we are walking every single day, and that's doing a lot of good too. So I think I'm feeling overall way better, and I am definitely nesting. I'm ready to get rid of everything that I own and start over, sell everything I have and start over. I'm like ready to go ahead and redo our kitchen. It's been on our list for not that long, maybe like the past year, I've just decided I don't like it anymore. So I'm trying to make it more timeless, and instead of like the white and the black, I want to do like neutrals and just make it something that I hopefully won't want to change in 10 years. It's my goal, which I know your taste changes, but just trying to go very classic with everything that we do in the house. I was very like modern. My husband calls it farmhousey, but that was never my intention. But a lot of my taste was leaning towards like modern farmhouse. And I don't want that to be the look of my house anymore. So now that this baby is coming, I'm like, well, let's do it all. It's a problem. I'm still not feeling the baby like at all, which kind of makes me nervous, but I know I'm still super early and it's the first pregnancy, so you don't feel it for a while. But yeah, just as my update of what I've been craving. I'm making French toast like this every single day for probably the past 4 or 5 days now. And it's like the only thing I want for breakfast, even though it's afternoon right now. But anyways, that's my little 16-week update. Trigger warning, if you're having aversions, I'm going to show my breakfast. This is the one thing I wish everyone would say when I'm watching things pregnant. This is what it looks like. It's so good. That's like a lot of the blueberry juice whenever you microwave the frozen blueberries. And some maple syrup. So good every morning.
Jessica's gone on a work trip. She was gone for like a day and a half, and she's coming back this morning. I decided to put the nursery together while she was gone. We have a few things that I'm just going to show you, but I'm going to try to surprise Jessica when she gets back. I told her I was real busy, and I didn't tell her what exactly I was doing. So I'm going to set the camera up and walk her in here probably in the next hour or so. So we have 2 Billy bookcases that we got from IKEA, and we just built those in and put crown molding around the top and some floor molding at the bottom to kind of make it look like it's built in to the wall. Did some trim on the side as well. We have our crib. We have the dog. He's not ready for the baby yet. We have Jessica and I a little chair that we're going to sit in. And then we have the dresser as well. Oh, and obviously we have our blackout curtains too. It's really plain right now. We don't have anything up on the walls. All I did was kind of put the bookshelves together, trim them out, paint, and we had Jessica's mom and a family friend come over and help cut in the trim while she was gone, because Jessica does not trust me to cut in, but we got it done anyway. So yeah, when she gets back, her and I are going to continue to decorate. I'm sure she'll show you more, and she'll show you more later when we have the pictures and everything else up on the wall. Okay, I just picked her up, but she's outside. I'll be right back.
All of this done.
Come here.
I thought you were way too busy. Wow. What in the world? It looks so good. You even got this. Wow. Are these for me?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Oh my god, that's crazy.
That's what I was busy doing.
Look at this.
So we have our curtains.
They look so
your chair,
good.
The crib.
Wow. You did perfect.
I did perfect, but she fixes the curtains.
No, I'm just looking. You did perfect. They're hung perfectly. I'm 18 weeks and 5 days today, and I wanted to share I am finally starting to eat healthier. I told my husband, this baby's not gonna know what to do whenever I eat this meal, but I got it out of this Nurture book, and it is a lentil, sweet potato, and broccolini grain bowl. So I made one. I haven't tasted it yet, but it's green lentils on the bottom, and I cooked mine in beef bone broth. And then you top it with roasted sweet potato, roasted broccolini, top it with some feta, and then there's a homemade dressing, which is like white wine vinegar, Dijon mustard, lemon juice, olive oil, that kind of stuff. I feel like my aversions are 95% gone. I'm not dealing with a really high appetite still, so I'm waiting for my appetite to come back 100%, but I am still getting really sick if I don't eat. So like this morning, I just had a yogurt in the morning, and we went grocery shopping and meal planned and all that. And around right before noon, I started getting really sick feeling, almost threw up, because I'm just like hungry. So I'm trying to make sure that my calorie intake is high enough. You're supposed to eat like an extra 300 to 500 calories a day on top of a 1,500 to 2,000 calorie diet. And that is not what I've been eating. So starting this week, now that my aversions are slowly starting to go away, I'm really trying to focus on eating plenty of high nutrient dense foods. I am getting unready. We just took our video to announce that we're pregnant. I originally wanted to do like a photo shoot with us, like in a park or somewhere, but it is so expensive to hire a photographer. So I went on TikTok and I was looking at like pregnancy announcement ideas. I found this one girl's announcement where they just like put the ultrasound in a onesie up on a Christmas tree and announced that way. And I thought that was so cute because it's already November 19th, pretty close to the holiday season, but mainly because we don't have to like get ready and leave our house and like pay for someone to take our photos elsewhere. So went ahead and did that. Hope the lighting's not too bad. It gets dark so early, but I am 20 weeks today, and yesterday we had our anatomy scan and everything went great, which I am so thankful for, because honestly, yes, I was very nervous about something going wrong or them like seeing something that wasn't supposed to be there, or I don't know. My appetite has just started to come back, and it really hasn't been a huge appetite so far, but at least I'm like able to eat. So I feel like I'm no longer struggling. I feel like I'm finally at a place where I'm enjoying the pregnancy. I will say pregnancy anxiety has not left me. I feel like my hormones maybe have a lot to do with it, but I just feel like I am not handling stress very well, and my work has been very stressful right now. So I've started learning like breathing exercises and doing breathing exercises. I have the Ultra Human ring, and on the app you can do breath work, and so I've been doing breath work like every day just the past 2 days. So I haven't even noticed like big difference yet, but I really want to make sure that I am taking time for myself, nurturing my own self-care. Another big part of that is working out, staying active. I'm getting ready to go do a pregnancy Pilates class and take the dog on a walk. I also got my walking pad back out under my desk so that while I'm working or on meetings, I can just walk at a slow pace, and before you know it, you've done like 2 miles, like, because I will walk for an hour. I have definitely popped. So I just took my 20-week photos today too. This is what it looks like. It's just really crazy. I feel like I literally just developed a bump in the past week or two. I mean, my husband too. We're both like, where did that come from? That came from out of nowhere. But yeah, I really love it. It's really cool to like see yourself be pregnant for the first time. Something that I just am so glad that I'm documenting and that I want to keep up with. Second trimester recap. I am fresh from the doctor's office. I still have the bandage on my arm from my glucose test. Made myself a smoothie, and I'm just going to talk real quick about some of the things that happened in the second trimester, feelings, thoughts, symptoms, etc. I had so much anxiety in the first trimester, which I think is fine because there's just, you never know how far things are going to progress in a pregnancy, and you can't feel the baby or anything like that, and so it's really hard to make to know that he's or she is okay. We are having a boy, so I did release our gender reveal, and I have been keeping up with my pregnancy journal. So I talked about this in my first trimester recap, but I started like a scrapbooking journal with memories from each trimester. My favorite page is our gender reveal page. This is actually the confetti that came out of the bomb thing that we used, the popper. So it's been really fun to sit and think back on things, and this is not something that I think I will have the time or patience or energy to do when and if we get to have any more kids. So it's something I'm really happy I'm doing with the first pregnancy. I am a first-time mom. I would have told myself in the first trimester to stay off social media and not look at the horror stories, as tempting as it is. Sometimes ignorance can be very blissful, and there are certain things that you should learn and be aware of and keep your eye out for, but so much of the fear and anxiety that I had in the first trimester came from being on social media, seeing other people's horror stories, and thinking that that would happen to me. So I worked really hard on a positive mindset, and it's the mindset that I have continued to try to work on throughout the second trimester. So for second trimester symptoms, I was still having, obviously we found out what the gender of the baby was in the second trimester, which was so much fun. Will I ever do a big gender reveal again? No, I will not. I was so stressed out during my gender reveal. There were so many people there, and of course it was all family and friends, and I loved every second of it, but only for the first. I don't think I'll do that again. The next time, if we get to have a next time with another pregnancy, which would be so great, I would love to do this with just my husband and it just be very intimate gender reveal, maybe the baby that we're having now, I don't know. That's my thoughts on gender reveals. They're really fun, but they're a lot, especially when, like me, I was still very sick. I took like 2 Zofran that day. I could not eat any of the food that was there. I didn't even want to see it. I just wasn't feeling good. I was feeling really tired, and that was week 14. My nausea did not go away. I did not stop throwing up until week 17. And once it went away, I still had a lot of food aversions. So I was still like unable to eat eggs, most meats, chicken, fish, like all of that. I was like, do not get that near me. It made me ill, but I didn't throw up. And I think I talked about this in my first trimester vlog, but almonds were like my first aversion food. Trail mix, any kind of nut, but specifically almonds. And I am happy to say about halfway through my second trimester, I was able to eat like almonds and some cereal. And I was able to eat eggs again, and fish and chicken. And so far, pretty much all my aversions are gone. I still get a little nauseous if I eat like boiled eggs. But any other kind of egg I actually like, and I've been trying to incorporate them back in my diet because they're just such a superfood in my opinion. So the nausea lasted for about 17 weeks and aversions lasted till about week 20. And then it got better. I did hit a fatigue slump week 24 through week 20 maybe, or 21 to week 24. It hit really bad, and I actually read that that's like a major milestone, and I think that's a time where your baby grows like 2 pounds or something in like 2 weeks or a month or something. I can't really remember. I can't remember what it was, but I'm pretty sure that the baby grows like 2 pounds in 2 weeks, like a pound a week. I feel like I should have that information, but I don't know where to find it. I can't find what I'm looking for, but it does say that in the second trimester, the fetus usually grows to weigh around 2 to 3 pounds. The growth rate is like, they grow a lot in the second trimester. I know they grow more in the third trimester, but I definitely did experience a few weeks of extreme fatigue, no motivation. I wasn't sick, thank goodness, but I was just like so tired, so unmotivated. It kind of made me feel a little bit depressed again, but nowhere near the depression that I felt in the first trimester, which again I cover in my first trimester recap. My mood has been extremely stable throughout the second trimester. I feel like I definitely have a lot of energy. I'm still not drinking a lot of caffeine. I will say I have maybe 1 or 2 cups of coffee a week on average. I just don't necessarily want it. Some days when I'm working, I feel like I need it to keep up with my job, but that's about it, because I do feel like I have this like cracked out energy so much of the time where I'm just like running around the house doing everything. The nesting has definitely kicked in. I've already done a load of baby clothes and like started to think about how I want to organize my dresser in the nursery, even though he's not even going to be using the nursery. Like, I know it's not a big deal, but I am just so excited to start working on that kind of stuff. I have been feeling baby kick since week 15, which is really early. I do have a posterior placenta, meaning my placenta is in the back, so I would feel movements earlier, and I definitely did. I even caught it on video at like 18 weeks was when I was able to actually see little movements. Super, super tiny, but you could see it on video. But I could definitely feel it, and my husband and my mom were both able to feel him too at week 15. He did kind of take a sabbatical from moving, it felt like, for a little bit, and then I didn't really feel him consistently until about 18 or 19 weeks, and now I feel him all the time. Obviously it's been like 10 weeks since then, but He is moving and grooving all the time, especially whenever I sit down and I'm like relaxed. He just kicks. He's also started to like move around in different positions, and I've started to be able to like feel where he is through my belly, which is really crazy. So some other symptoms, the discharge, which they call leukorrhea, I think, is something else. I go through like 3 pair of underwear a day. It is crazy. I did switch through the holidays all of my underwear. I bought brand new underwear from Aerie, and I got only 100% cotton. I did have a yeast infection, I think towards the beginning of my 2nd trimester, and it's the first one that I've ever had, ever. And it was so miserable, and I'm like, I would do anything not to have another one. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I'm just constantly producing this discharge all the time, and I wasn't wearing cotton underwear. And I don't know how much that really does help, but I also do prefer to wear thongs, and so when you wear that, like, you're just keeping all that moisture trapped up there. So I think that's kind of why it happened. And so I purchased a lot more like the granny panties and the really comfy stuff, and I wear that at home with sweatpants instead of leggings if I can try for most of the days, just to kind of let things breathe, as they say. My doctor said it's all normal. I mean, I've had the test done. Like, this is nothing weird. This is completely normal. It is just like something I didn't expect. No one told me about this, and it kind of freaked me out. I kept thinking that there was something wrong, but no, that's just the way it is. So that's been fun. Rib and hip pain. Oh my God. I have grown out of every single bra, bralette, sports bra, everything. I cannot wear for more than like an hour or two, because my ribs will start to ache, and it feels so good to just twist. I did not know that your ribs actually grow like 2 centimeters, I think, during pregnancy. And my ribs are definitely expanding. It didn't kick in till about the middle of the 2nd trimester, and it is really painful. The only thing that makes me feel better is a nightly hot shower. My other rule of thumb is to move or stretch every single day. So when I do pregnancy Pilates or pregnancy yoga, or I do pregnancy stretches and I walk a lot, I swear it makes my pains disappear. I am having round ligament pain, pretty good amount of it. When I move too much, or when I'm like cleaning the house, I'm doing too much like bending up and down and all that, I will start to get like really tight in my lower abdomen, and kind of achy. And it's not Braxton Hicks, I don't think. And it's definitely not like something that takes my breath away or stops me in my tracks or anything like that. It's just a very uncomfortable achiness, a heaviness. My belly button has slowly started to pop. It's like halfway out, but not all the way. So far, I don't have any stretch marks. This is the oil that I've been using. It's bio oil, and I got this from Target, and I got it in the 1st trimester, and I'm still like not even halfway through with it. I don't love it, honestly, because it doesn't have the cleanest ingredients, but I bought it and wanted to try it, and I think it's been working pretty well. But I will say, stretch marks, from everything I've read, there's nothing that you can do to prevent them. I mean, there's some things that you can do to make them less noticeable, maybe. From what I've read, they're hereditary, and if you're going to get them, there's not much that you can do. Also, staying hydrated and eating your healthy fats and all that, which nourishes your skin and your nails and your hair anyways, is probably the most important thing you can do. So I'm not really too stressed about it if I get some stretch marks. I just had a human being. Like, it's not a big deal. I've just never really been one to stress out about that kind of stuff. But so far I don't have any. I just wanted to show you guys like what I've been using, because I remember wondering what other people used, if anything, on their belly. So that's what I've been doing. And I will say, like, probably only once a day. Not anything crazy. I don't have like a belly oil routine or anything like that. I know a lot of people do, but it is winter. If it gets itchy, I'll add more. I do think I went through a growth spurt where I was constantly itchy, but that hasn't really happened in the past few weeks, so I think we're kind of good for a little bit. If you can't tell, the shortness of breath has really kicked in the last few weeks. Honestly, it didn't really kick in until 2 weeks ago. Like, this is a pretty new thing. I've always kind of been short of breath whenever I go up my stairs, but this is like, I just can't catch a breath sometimes. So again, normal. My doctor's like, yep, it's the way it is. I have started working out again. I know I mentioned that. I've been doing Pilates. I use pregnancy and postpartum TV on YouTube. I love her videos. They're very like labor and pregnancy focused, which is really helpful for me. And then once a week, my goal is just one time a week, I'm going to the gym and I am lifting weights on like a lower body day. So I've been loving it. My heart rate definitely gets really high. I get out of breath, and I've just been taking it very slow, focusing on my breathing. I've talked to multiple doctors. I've talked to my midwife about it. I've seen lots of different people. The practice I go to, by the way, is like midwives and doctors. And before that, I was seeing a OBGYN. And so I get to talk to lots of different people with different views all the time, which has been really nice. But everyone says it's fine. As long as you're not feeling faint and you're not doing anything to put your abdominal area in danger, then that's okay. And so they also say working out your abs, as long as it feels okay, it doesn't hurt, is probably a very helpful thing. And so I haven't really been doing much of that, but it is good to know. I have had 2 panic attacks in my second trimester. A lot of that has to do with my job though, combined with the fact that there's just a lot going on in my mind becoming a first-time mom. So I feel like 2 is actually pretty good for the amount of like panicking I usually do on a daily basis. So I'm trying really hard to like stay calm and take it day by day. I truly believe that the baby feels every emotion that I feel. And so I try really, really hard to keep a calm presence, do my deep breathing, and just be happy for most of the time. And I think I've done a pretty good job. Sometimes though, I will let myself just cry it out and it feels really good. There's just a lot of things to think about. Your whole life is changing, but it's all really good things, and I am just so thankful and so happy that everything has been normal so far. Now that I'm a week in my 3rd trimester, things are getting really real, and I'm like, man, it was so nice to just enjoy the 2nd trimester and not like have to think about the birthing classes, the hospital tours, the pediatricians, the vaccines, the nursery setup, the baby showers, like what we need to buy and what we're gonna do, and like it's coming, you're about to birth this human being. Like that is all what I'm about to go through. And so the 2nd trimester was really nice to just kind of exist, start to grow this bump that's like definitely getting bigger, and have fun. We took our maternity photos and went on our baby moon the last week of the 2nd trimester. So we just did that last week. And that was so much fun. I think that was the perfect time to go on a baby moon. I would not want to travel or get on a plane in my 3rd trimester. And also just because of like the amount of acid reflux. Oh my God, the acid reflux. I've been taking Pepsid, but I'm trying really, really hard, just like my 1st trimester, to not medicate unless it's absolutely necessary. I won't even take Tums. I actually take Wonder Bellies, and they don't have any artificial dyes in them or anything like that. And they are so delicious and they work so quick. But I will not even take those until I'm like miserable. And last night I was miserable with acid reflux. Felt like it's just the constant flame down here. And it would just go at the back of my throat, and I could not get it to control like on its own. And so I took 2 Wonder Bellies, and within 5 minutes I was able to lay down semi-reclined and like fall asleep. But the acid reflux has been awful, awful. But I will take the acid reflux over the like 1st trimester stuff any day. So I'm not even going to complain about that. I am already getting very excited for birth and to have this baby here. I can't believe that I am already in my 3rd trimester. I think it's gone by so fast, which I knew it was, but I didn't know it was going to go by like this fast now that we're here. My biggest advice for anyone about to be in their 2nd trimester or in their 2nd trimester is to just relax and enjoy it. Again, I am a 1st-time mom, so I don't have a kid to already take care of right now, so I was truly able to sit and relax and chill out and enjoy the time with just me and my husband for my 2nd trimester, and we had such a great time on our baby moon. And I know not everyone gets the chance to do stuff like that, and I'm very thankful that we got to. It was a really good way to relax. We almost didn't take a baby moon because we didn't want to spend the extra money. I just felt like we've been so blessed to be able to travel already to a lot of the places that we want to go to, and it just seemed like, why would you go pay to stay in a hotel when you could just chill out at home? But it was so nice to be able to just go, the 2 of us, and bond some more and have those conversations about like remember when we first met and like, we can't believe we're here, and it was really cool. It was a really great time. It was so special. So I highly recommend, if you can swing any kind of just night getaway somewhere just to get out of the house, definitely do it. But yeah, second trimester's been great. I'm excited for the rest of the pregnancy. I'm just really hopeful that baby stays in there to cook long enough to make it to like close to full term. That will be great. And I think I've done a really good job of keeping my mindset in a good place, positive and excited and not stressed. And I think that's made a huge difference in my overall mental well-being, as well as getting back in the gym and just feeling like a human again. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. I hope this could help. I think I touched on every point I could think of, and I'll see you in my next video.